All right, everyone, you're welcome. This is the Exponential Network Studio, all right, and we're having this fireside chat, all right, with ministers of the gospel who have been very prominent and visible at different exponential events, that we have had over the year. And what we're doing this for is just to be able to, again, bring wisdom and learning, from their experience that will help those of us who are connected, to the Exponential Network. So today, right now, I have with me in the studio Pastor Yemi Davids, right, who serves as the lead pastor of Global Impact Church, right? So I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions, just interviewing him, and I want you to sort of just keep your heart open because you're in for a great time, all right? We're just going to do this for about 10 to 15 minutes, but I promise you, it is going to be amazing. Something you will chew on, for very many weeks and months to come. So you're welcome to our studio, Pastor Yemi.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for coming. So I have a number of questions for you, right? Because you have been a part of the Exponential Network, right, since inception. And we really, year in, year out, when you come, we learn quite a lot from you. So my first question is this, you're a family man. And when you speak many times, we can hear that you use examples, you make references, to your family, and we can see that. So, but you see, the thing is that there is a notion that many times pastors' kids, often either walk out of church, or they're rebellious towards the faith and things like that, And we just wanted to share wisdom around, what pastors and families of people in ministry can do to keep their children grounded, to keep them falling in love with Jesus, and also to even continue to serve God.
Well, thank you. Well, we are still work in progress, but I'm glad that our home has been very encouraging to me. When I see our kids at home, I'm so glad they want to be part of the church. We have 4 daughters, and one of the things that helps is the fact that when I'm at home, I'm not really a pastor. I'm their daddy, and then with their mother, I'm a husband. There are 2 different things. Absolutely. So the challenge with some pastors I've noticed is that they want to be like pastor at home, like evangelist at home, like an apostle at home, and it's a different ball game. You can't play with the children. I play with them a lot, and so while playing, of course, chip in the things, so that way they love what you do, because children know you first before they know Jesus, and if you present the wrong Jesus to them, you've lost them. So I want to encourage leaders to be a father at home, a loving father, exciting father. Yes, you're going to rebuke them, but let it be a robust combination of tough love and then tender love. Let them jump on you, let them ask you questions. There are many times our younger daughters will say, Daddy, we have to watch this particular cartoon with us. I have to sit with them and enjoy the cartoon with them, so they feel like you're part of their lives. Another part is being involved, with their lives. The way they are, like when I was growing up, there are so many activities in their school where their colleagues, their parents come, open day, this one. Can you imagine you not showing up for any? Man, it's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
And see somebody's dad coming, somebody's mom comes, and then because their dad is a pastor or their parents are pastors, they don't show up. So when I can't make it, their mom is there. Other ones, I show up myself. And those moments are lasting.
Absolutely.
The other thing is, pray for your children a lot. Pray for them a lot. You wake up and mention their names before God regularly. It's a major place of rescue. I discovered the difference between Judas and Peter. It's amazing that 2 of them really did almost the same thing. Judas betrayed him. Peter denied him thrice. It's tantamount to the same thing. But there's no record that Jesus prayed for Judas. But he told Peter that I prayed for you that your faith fail not. And then when you recover others. And Peter was rescued. Please pray for your children. Mention their names. And when you're saying children, don't tell God they are your children. Tell him they are his children in your care. Hand it over to him. Hand them over to him again. Prayer concerning their future. Prayer concerning their knowing God. You can't force Jesus on them. So you pray that they will come to an understanding of Christ. For sometimes you have to pray for the person that will reach them because you might not be able to reach them. They have their own harvester.
Oh, wow.
You pray. That sometimes in the church, you find that it's another mother, another leader that will reach your son and get them saved and get them growing than the mom. You pray for that. And I've seen that work. We have daughters now, we are praying for their husbands. I say, Lord, may their husbands be more sons to me than they are daughters to us.
Wow.
I think that would do a lot. And then ask God for wisdom in terms of dealing with each one of them. And as you do that,
As individuals.
yeah, as you do that, revelations will be coming to you about them, which helps you to navigate the kind of school they should attend, helping them out, the kind of course they want to do. You empower them to make their choices, but you already have an idea of where they are going. Anybody you pray for genuinely, you will see revelations about them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Pastor Yemi, for that. Now, so the range, we have a range of questions, so they're not just about family, right? So my next question is going to be something. So recently, right, you were teaching, and you did make a reference to the fact that there is tremendous power in giving gifts, in being a blessing to people, in order to sort of get the benefits of the favor of God, right? One of the things that would seem to happen is you would see that there are many opportunities, when people sow into the lives of ministers, give to them, for them to be able to sort of just in appreciation of what those ministers are to them. I guess the question is, so in what context, because we're speaking to ministers, right?
Yeah.
In what context should ministers also be able to
give
practice
out,
gift giving, and all of that, for them to also receive the blessings of being givers?
Yeah, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Absolutely.
The joy of giving is amazing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, thank God for the 100-fold, the 60-fold, but there's something about giving. For God so loved the world that He gave. So if you are not a giver, whether you're a minister or not, there's something not okay about you. That's not God-like. Okay. Now, I'm the senior pastor of our church. It's a privilege for me to be that. When we have Christmas like this, people give our associate pastor gifts, but I receive a whole lot because people just want to bless the senior pastor. But as they are giving me, my mind, I'm already earmarking which pastor this one will go to. So just you carry this amper. Some of them 2 ampers, 3 ampers, 10 ampers, and you spread it. If you don't practice it, you're not going to, you malfunction as a person. You become greedy. Because church members, for instance, they love their senior pastor. They love, their prophet, our father in the Lord. But you have people supporting you, working with you. We've moved from I to we. I'm not the keyboardist. I'm not the small groups leader. I'm not the one handling this. But, people are people. So when they give us things, you want to spread. And that involves cash. You spread it to them as much as possible. But sometimes I call them, guys, have you received any gift for Christmas? Pastor, I just got a hamper. Okay, God bless you. See me on Sunday. And then, phew, you move things to them. Okay, and then we had something in church recently. We had an evening meeting. And I said to the finance people, my family would pay for the feeding of everybody in the church. It was a lot, but drinks and some snacks for the entire people that came for that worship meeting. It's one of the ways you flow out. We're flowing broke. So I want to encourage pastors, give to members, and do it without any air of trying to, show. Just let them cry. I like people crying, tears of joy. Sorry, I like that kind of thing. Tears of joy. You can even make it your goal every year to make 10 people cry. So shed tears of joy. Absolutely. I mean, it could be your mom, it could be your somebody's having a birthday or wedding, and you just call up one like Timi Dakolo, like I know somebody in your church, one of your leaders having his wedding, one of your top leaders, and you call up Timi Dakolo and pay him, go and sing in that wedding, and he shows up.
Wow.
And when that pastor was one that called,
Absolutely.
You have to be creative about giving. It's amazing. And then you reap the harvest.
Absolutely.
You can never outgive God. What you do for someone, don't expect the harvest from them. We reap what we sow, not where we sow. Because sometimes when leaders give to people, there's this mentality of, because I've done this for him or her, he or she must be loyal to this ministry. No, loyalty must be done without any air of control. What you give to someone, you get it back from other sources. Don't manipulate the person based on the fact that you're a blessing to them.
Thank you very much.
Works?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Pastor.
Okay.
I think one of the things I've heard from that, reinforcing, one of the things that I believe and I do is it is okay to go for a leader or a member's birthday party and carry a gift for them. Yeah. It's okay to. One of the things that my wife does all the time is somebody invite. Well, I'm going to officiate a naming ceremony. I'm the pastor. Someone says we have a baby. Come and officiate the naming ceremony. My wife says, as you are going there,
Yes.
what are you going to give the baby?
Oh yes, amazing.
You know?
That's
Well, oh, somebody's birthday, they've invited us. She said, as we are going, we cannot go empty-handed. And I think that sort of, again, is what you have.
yeah. You know, something touched me some years ago when we moved to a new facility, and we're just setting out. And Bishop Oyedepo came. You know Bishop Oyedepo? Yeah, he
Yes.
came just to,
Yes.
was supposed to pray. And you know, we had spent a lot, and so we just got a seed. You know, like a check that I wanted to like give to him for coming, just that to bless us. And I remember as I was giving him that gift, that they said, "Oh, sorry, I brought also a gift," and he just brought a check of 10 million.
Wow.
That touched me.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Wow.
I photocopied the check.
Wow.
You know that, this is how it is.
Wow.
That's how they rise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Pastor Yemi, I honestly don't know if you remember this, right? But I remember that when the Elevation Church started in 2010, one of the, I don't remember how long after, I think maybe about a month or a few weeks after we started, Pastor Godman actually then did, because then I was in charge of finances and administration. He gave me a check that you had brought, you know, as a gift to the Elevation Church, you know, a seed that you have sown into the Elevation Church, you know, and again, because I've been in charge of finances, that wasn't the only time, you know, that you have been a blessing to the Elevation Church, you know, that your church also has been a blessing to the Elevation Church. So thank you very much for teaching us that. All right. So final question. I'm going to just do one last question. And interesting enough, this again, we're going back to family life, right?
By the way, I'm not the only one answering questions here. I have the right to ask you to answer.
Oh well, yes, Pastor Yemi, you can ask me.
Okay,
I can answer,
so ask now.
but they can choose whether they want to keep it in or edit it out.
Okay, let's go.
All right, sir. Okay. So this one is for people who are not married.
Like single?
Yeah, single ministers,
Yes.
right? I mean, so we know very clearly, Pastor Yemi, that you were when you started ministry, right? You were not married. You started as a single person. Yeah. So we want the benefit of your wisdom, and that's been very many years ago, right? We want the benefit of your wisdom to speak to young single ministers. Right? To say, look, when they are looking out for spouses, what are sort of like the top 3 things, you know, to look out for, or the way their mind should be working, right? That's number 1. And then number 2, there's always this debate around, if I am called to ministry, should my spouse also be called to ministry? How do we handle
Wow, that's amazing, because sincerely, if you miss it there, especially for ministry, a lot is gone. It's hard to repair, really. So, and one of the mistakes people make is trying to give God a CV, thinking you know what you want.
Like it's a recruitment activity.
Yeah. I want to say this categorically, that you can't really say you know what you need. You know what you need now, in your own opinion. But 20 years down the line, you can't say you know it. Only God knows that.
Absolutely.
So I want to encourage very sincere prayers. Because when I've seen people, married people, they assume that it's okay for the now. But 2 years down the line, it expired because they just recruited based on their present need.
Yeah.
So the custodian of that future is God.
Absolutely. Yes.
So he knows you, he knows your strengths and weaknesses as a single person. And if he projects forward, maybe he knows the kind of person that can stay with your, and it works out. I want to encourage first, please, for ministers who especially, pray.
Right.
And make it, don't try to manipulate God, like tell him what you must do. No, tell him to guide you.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I mean, so the thing is, you would assume that a minister really would, as a Christian would pray when they are thinking of getting
but the prayer can be...
But you are emphasizing it, so there must be
the prayer can be getting God the CV.
Right.
Father, in the name of Jesus, give me one that can pray. Father, give me one,
Yeah.
Like when I was start ministry, I wanted to marry a mama. People, a woman, and I was in a relationship with someone like that I felt this was a woman of God. Mama.
Yeah.
It was a disaster, man. God helped me.
Wow.
Your wife.
Thank God.
Your wife that fits you. Hagar is not Sarah.
Yes.
Ishmael is not Isaac.
Absolutely.
So that it's a prayer of consecration. God, these are my desires, but you know me more than I know myself. And you know the future. I ask you to guide me. That's The first thing. And when you do that, God will begin to throw up people. You meet friends in the church, in the office. Suddenly, 2 or 3 people begin to show up. You're close to them. Then the second phase of prayer comes in. Lord, I don't know these people. If there are things that I need to know about them now that will help me make the right decisions, let it be exposed. The revelation will start. Like when we call it, you spray insecticide in a room. You know, you don't know some roaches are in some places until the thing shows up. That's them creeping out. When you pray that kind of prayer, some things will show up. People start being themselves. Now, it doesn't mean they are bad, but you will now see their strengths and weaknesses. It will come out to help your decision. There are some weaknesses you see in some people. You will know that I can live with this. And there are some, you know, I can't live with this one, no. Because doesn't mean they will change.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, I know this about this person, but this is something I can live with. Or I can live without this person. So the level of persuasion begins to, you know, and then you start courtship. Courtship is not marriage.
Yeah.
So during that time too, you are proving all things until you make a final decision. But don't be afraid of making a mistake.
Absolutely.
So I think that would help.
But
the input of your parents matter.
Yeah.
Spiritual parents and natural parents. When there is a red flag from the 2 sides, run. Because when you get deeper in those datings, your mind is kind of blinded. We call it love is blind.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing well. But the people are not in that same ocean with you. They are seeing some things. So when I tell people, okay, what's your parent saying about this? My mom likes him, my dad too is okay. What's your pastor saying? You know. But the moment there's a red flag from the 2 sides, run. Or slow down and check it out. But please be fully persuaded before you ring it.
Thank you very much. But Pastor Yemi, there's just one last aspect, right, which is the bit about I am a minister called to ministry.
Yes.
Must my spouse, you know, be a minister?
No. But I know I was going to be a pastor, and believe me, I was also praying that God should give me someone that would be supportive for ministry. Because for Adam and Eve, sincerely, He said, a woman that would be help to fit into what I've called you to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean she must be a pastor.
Yeah.
But she would, because I've had cases where a pastor's wife is telling me that I don't want to do ministry at all. I hate ministry. That's a problem. That's it. So you find a man heading a church and the wife is at home. That's too far.
Yeah.
So there should be that affinity for that assignment. You know. Now don't force her into any part of that assignment that she's not crafted for. She might just love to be in the media like this. You get it? Let her do the media.
Yeah.
That she's a lady doesn't mean she should do female ministry or junior church. So let her now flow with the area that she's crafted for. She'll find fulfillment there. That's where the thing is. Don't say because the pastor's wife, she must be preaching every week. No, that's a problem.
All right. Yeah. And then what's the equivalent of that, you know, for the female ministers as well? So I am
for the husband.
No, I am the woman.
That's a ministry.
So the person who is listening to this, who is a lady,
female minister,
who knows I am already called to ministry. I don't have a husband yet. You know, again, I am on this journey. Must I continue to say I'm looking for a pastor?
No. That's a minister. No, your husband could be a businessman.
Go away.
You must be. I mean, she could be. I've seen cases like that. The man is a businessman, but should not hate ministry.
Absolutely.
I mean, just Maya's husband, I don't know whether he's a minister. I've never seen him preach.
No,
but he's very supportive of her. So, I mean, you don't have to marry a pastor. No, you just be, in fact, you can be a deacon in the church if she's pastor of the church, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or heading a team in the church or doing something.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a pastor at all. Let's not box God unnecessarily. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's it for this session. And I think you've heard many things that Pastor Yemi said, you know, that you will chew on for very many weeks to come. And I hope that this has been a blessing to someone. If it is, I mean, definitely because it's been a blessing to you, want you to continue to engage the materials and the resources coming out of the Exponential Network. So God bless you. Thank you very much. We'll see you, you know, next time when we bring a resource this way, a resource like this in your direction. Bye-bye.